Hello and welcome down onto the tech desk, and in today's video we are going to turn our DualSense controller from this into this. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to be using an ExtremeRate mod. Now this is specific for the BDM-030. So they've done one for the 020 last year, I believe. This is for the newer controllers. You need to work out if your controller is the 030, which is the latest iteration of the controller. And I'll leave a little graphic up there, and I'll leave link down in the description of where you can find out where you can work out whether yours is 030. But that's what we're going to be doing today. And again, my controller looks a little bit different. It will be look a bit different for yours because I've completely modded. This is my work controller. This is the one I do all of my mods on. So this might be a little bit different for you. It's also got the clicky, but don't worry. If yours is completely stock, it will be perfectly fine for what we're going through today. So as I said, we're going to be using the ExtremeRate stuff today. If you go and buy it on the website, don't pay full price. I'll have a discount down below if you want to go and do this yourself. And in terms of difficulty, not really that difficult, I would say. The DualSense is really easy to take apart, and I'm going to talk to you how to go through that really easily. So the things that you do get, you get in the box here. So this is my white version. So I've done a black version already. This is my white version. So you get this, which is the circuit board, we'll talk about later. You get a whole bunch of like extra screws if you need them. Fantastic, but I probably won't be needing them. I didn't use them in my other pack. A couple of extra bits if you're going to be doing with the Rise Remap kit. I won't be talking about adding it to the Rise Remap kit. I will leave a link down below of where you can go and have a look on it if you want to do that. And then here we have the screwdriver and the prying tool. Yes, you might need the prying tool. That's usually quite handy, so we'll keep that out. The screwdriver, you can use that, not a problem, but I've got one over here, which I'll talk about in a second. And then we have all of the buttons and the D-pad, everything you need nicely in this box. So that's what you definitely need, and you can get on with that and do it with that if you want to, but I've just got a few extra bits that I use when I do my mods. So this is a magnetic pad, so I put all my screws on there just so I can keep them separate and I know where they are. And this has been an absolute godsend for me. This is electric precision screwdriver with a torch on the end. This just saves the amount of mods that I was doing. It just makes sense I got one of these. Also as well, finally, you might need one of these. This is just one of my pair of tweezers that I used to pull some cables out and put them back in. So you might need that later on as well. So that's everything then, and now what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the mod, and we're going to get it apart before we put all this in. So really easily then, if you haven't done this before, you're going to be able to take this first bit off, and that's really easy. You can use the prying tool if you want. I just find that my thumbnail is good enough, but you might need the prying tool. Start at those two bits there, that one there, and then kind of just lift it up, okay? This, and it will just come off like that, okay? Put that to one side, we'll need that later. And now what we're going to do is we're going to be taking these two bumpers off, so L1 and R1. This is where the pry tool comes in handy. For yours, if yours is a completely stock, you'll be able to pull this trigger down and just pop it out. But I've got the clicky to it, so mine doesn't come out. But it's just as easy. You just get your prying tool underneath it. That's the first one. There's the second one. Now, if you look in there, there's a screw there, and then spin it over, and there's a screw there and a screw there. They are identical screws, so you're going to take those four out and put them onto your mat. Okay, once they're off, get your prying tool again, and we're going to separate these two halves, okay, so either side of that line there. The first thing you're going to need to do is just pop these two bits here, so these two clasps here, one there and one there, just pop them off like that. Okay, just make sure they're off like so, and as you see, mine has already started to come off because I've taken it apart quite a few many times. If yours doesn't pop off like that, just get your prying tool, work your way around the edges like so, and it will come off, okay? So separate the two like that, and you've got this back piece which you can put to one side, and then we're going to be working on this piece. Once we're here, we're going to take the battery out. The battery isn't secured at all, so you just pick it up and it's attached into there, so just be careful, just give it a little bit of a wiggle and it will come out. And then we're also going to be removing, this is why I use the tweezers, this, which is the mic cable here. So very gently, it just kind of like hooks in to that bit there, and it just hooks in there. So if you just kind of get it and give it a little bit of a pull out, kind of this way, it will just pop out like so. Okay, so just make sure that that is out and free as well, because when we're taking this bit off, you don't want to be catching that. So now we're going to do 3 more screws. The 3 we're going to do is this one up here. So I've got them in black, okay, but they will be silver for you. So this one here, this one here, and this one here. Okay, so if I get a little bit of a close up, if I use my torch as well. Okay, so that one there, screw in there, that screw in there, and that one. You'll see there's a couple of extra screws there. Ignore those 2. It's that one there. Okay, so get those 3 popped out. So once those 3 out, then you take off this, which is the kind of like the battery compartment. It'll just come off like that. Put that to one side. And then what you're going to need to do is, in yours, you will have ribbons here. So this ribbon here that I've stuck in here, that's because I've got the clicky kit on. So ignore that. What you're going to do is this ribbon, you're going to take out this ribbon here, and you're going to take out this ribbon here. So just pull them out and put them to one side. And then also this ribbon up the top here, this blue one, okay? You should be able to do it with your fingers, but it's a bit slippery. There we go. So we take that ribbon out. And then once they're all out, what you can do is this will just come off now, okay? Like so. So no pressure needed at all. You're just gonna pop that off, and we're gonna be working with this. So just go and put this to one side. So once we're at this stage, you'll notice that I haven't got a rubber piece on there because I've got the clicky kit. So remember, you might have to take the rubber pieces off. So we're going to take a rubber piece off there, put that on there, and then this rubber piece here as well. Take that piece off, okay? And then take the rubber piece if you've got one off there. Just be careful of the microphone here that it doesn't pop out. Just be careful of that one. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take all the bits out. So the D-pad, the PS button here, and then the four controller buttons, and then finally the option and the share button. Take those 2 out. Right, you won't be needing those, but go and put them safe because you might need to if you want to reverse the process. Then into our box, and we're going to get all of the pieces out for the box. So we're going to get the D-pad, the options and the share button, the PS button, and the 4 face buttons. Now we're going to put them back in, and you don't need to worry about it too much because there's only one way for it to go. Even the D-pad, you can't put it in that way because of this lip here, and you'll see that the lip, there's only one place for the lip to go. So there we go, so that sits in there. And again, so this is the circle button, so we know that that's going to go there, but if I try and put it in anywhere else, it won't fit, okay? So if I try and put it in that one, it won't fit because of these lips around here that sticks in. So there's only one place it can go and it will fit in snugly. So don't worry about it too much of remembering which one goes where. You can just do like I've just done, just blindly put it in and go, no, it doesn't fit in that one. I'll try that one, no, it doesn't fit in that one. No, it doesn't fit in that one. There you go, there you go. It fits in that one there. So I know that that one's there. So get all those 4 put in. Then get your PlayStation button put in. Then get your options and your share button. And again, there's only one way for these to go. So just try it either way, and then you'll work it out by power of elimination. There we go. So they're all in, okay? And then we're just going to put these rubber pieces back on. So put the rubber piece back on that one, and that one. That's it for this bit for the moment. Now we're going to grab this piece, and then we're going to flip it over. And the first thing you're going to do is swap over these thumbsticks because they've got a clear bit down the bottom. Yeah, it's white at the top, same as that one. But if you look, it's got a clear bit for the RGB to pop through as well. So, very gently, just pull them off, like so, and then put them on. You'll see that there's a shape inside. The hole in there will fit with the hole, the stick in there. So there's only one way for them to go on. And then push it on. Make sure it's all the way down. Give it a nice firm push. Grab the other one. exactly the same. You'll see it fits on there like that. And then push it on, just make sure it's in all the way down, nice and firm. So next up, we're going to be working underneath this green board here. So you want to kind of separate it, but if it's kind of like attached to the black bit here, there's a couple of clips either side down here and here. If you just ping those clips either way, it will come loose, but mine's already loose because of the modification I've done. And you'll probably notice that when you ping it up here, there's this bit in here that's very loose. It's always been loose for me. This bit here, it is just basically resting there via gravity. So when you ping it up, it might just pop out and you'll be like, oh, where's that come from? If you just get it with the rubber bit up, place it back in, like so. Every time it just comes up, just place it back in. So what we're gonna do is get the board from the kit, pull it out, and just make sure it's like so. And we're going to place it onto our, you see, there's obviously where it goes. Okay, so this brownie bit here is over to the left, and this bit will be poked through this slit here, okay? So if you poke it through that slit, and place everything on there, and then just gently placing it on your hand, folding it over, you'll see all that in there. The bit you've just poked through, if you fold that up and place it on top of the one that's already there into those clips, there's 2 fastening clips. Okay, in there like so. Okay. Like that. Okay, so you folded it in there through that slit and you folded it up onto those 2 fastening clips there. Okay, and then it's probably a good idea just put this back, because that little piece I talked about with the rubber bit on, it just keeps falling out all the time. Now, there's a nice little tip I got from ExtremeRate whilst doing this, is once you push it together, you want to kind of keep it together. So just get some, okay, I've got some frog tape, just to do that, just so that holds that in place. Okay, so we're going to be taking that off later. That's just temporary, just so the board doesn't come off and you get that bit with the rubber bit pinging off all the time. So now we've got it kind of semi-secure, just go onto the front of the board and just make sure that it's all into these clips. There's a few there, one there, there's one there. Make sure that goes into the clip. And then this one, these ones in the top corner here are quite good, because you can actually poke them into the kind of like the hole. There's a little hole in there. Like that. But if like me with a clicky kit, it might be quite thick, but it still does fit in, and then we go, it's nice and secure. So you see these bits here, these flappy bits now, we're going to be starting working on them. So if you work out from the board, this first one here has got a sticky pad, well, you're going to take that sticky bit off, okay, and you're going to stick it onto this bit here, kind of anywhere really, but kind of on the circular bit here where the screw, under the screw of where the trigger is. So there's like a circular bit there. Stick it on there. So wrap it around and get it stuck on there. Okay. And then just as a final thing, with the cable that runs up there, I would just kind of tuck it around. There's plenty of room to tuck it around, just so it's nice and flush. But you want that stuck on there with all of these bits kind of flapping around. And then we're going to get this bit again, and we're going to put this back on. Okay, so you're going to put it back on, but remember you've got this frog tape on, so if you have put tape on, just remember at this point to take it off as we place it back onto the front of it. Now we're going to put our 4 cables back in, but there's only going to be 2 for me. So you're going to put this cable here back into this one, and you're going to put this one here into this one. Just make sure they're not stuck under the board. Okay, so you've got 1, 2, 3 and 4. They might be stuck under the board, just make sure that they're out. So plug that one back into there, plug that one back into there, and then this little small one into here, like so. And then this blue one here back into there. So like I said, I've only done 2. You'll be doing as well, you'll be doing, well, that cable there into there, and that cable there into there. So now we're going to put the black plastic bit back onto the board. Just be careful of this bit. I'm telling you now, this rubber bit here, it will ping off about 1,000,000 times. It always does. It's a bit of a pain and it's not very secure on. So just make sure it's out of the way as you... So get that and then tuck it back in to there and just push it into its housing of where it should go, into there. Okay, so you got that bit in there. So just make sure that that will ping off, okay, and then you'll have to put it back on probably, I'd say several 100,000 times while doing this, but don't worry if it does, just place it back in. And then once that's in, kind of keep holding it and get one of your screws and just put it in there just so it's nice and secure. The first thing you want to do, okay, so grab a screw and get that one placed back in. There we go. So we've got some sort of solidity to the controller now. And then follow it up with the other screws. So the one screw in there and the other screw in there. So these are the final 2 black screws that we've got. So now we're going to be working on these flappy bits here. So get this one out of the way. So the bit with the port on it out of the way, you're going to be using this one, which has just got the single connector on it. So this bit here, if you wrap this round and just poke it down, it doesn't need to be stuck down. Just poke it down there and kind of find somewhere for it to live inside there, so it's nice and secure. And then you're going to put this bit into where we took the battery out. Okay, so that's where the battery plugs in. You're going to plug this one into the battery. Okay. Just make sure that is nice and snug in there, and don't worry about the cables too much. We're just going to tidy them up in a bit. So this bit here, this is where your battery is going to plug into. Again, if you wrap your cables kind of round, and you're going to put it under here, this black plastic bit there. Okay, so it's kind of sits in there. If I just put it in, and I'll show you, like so. It doesn't need to be stuck down. You just need to push it in. So you've got the battery pack there, and then where all those, the black, white and red one go in, they've got it running that way, and then you've got this way. Okay, so it's like a 90-degree in there. Just get that sat in there like that. Like I said, it doesn't need to be stuck down. You need to kind of make sure it just sits there. Okay, then grab your battery and you're going to poke it into where you've just put the connector in. Just put the battery in there like so, and you'll see that it will fire on. So we're going to put the battery back in like that. Now with these cables, you're just going to tidy them up. There's loads and loads of room in there, okay? You can just get your tweezers and just poke them and just make sure they're all in nicely. I'll be honest with you, the last time I did it, I was so precious about it, but you don't need to be, okay? Just make sure they're out of the way. There's loads of room in this controller for these cables, okay? So don't worry about it too much. It's fine. Just make sure they're out of the way and not going to be pinched when you put the back plate on. Now, speaking of the back plate, it's time we put this one on. The way to do that, if you haven't done it before, is to put the hot clicker on the top there like so first, and then run all the way back like so. And the amount of times that I've done it with this controller, it's so easy. It's ridiculous. Yours might be a little bit more difficult than that. Just make sure it snaps on all the way around. Okay, and then we're going to put the 4 screws in. 1, 2, 3 and 4. There's these 4, so get those put back in. Then once they're in, we're going to put these back in, so these are easy. So just make sure you just kind of put it in almost straight in, okay? Straight in, push it in and click it in. Really, really simply, okay? Straight in to there, push them in, okay? Now this, the best way to do this is hooking it over the sticks and pulling it back, making sure those 2 bits poke in at the top, like so. Then you're just going to push it down, make sure it all clicks into place. And there we have it. There we go. It's done. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to turn the lights down, and I'm just going to run through very briefly on how to work it and how to get the lights all up and running and the different modes. Right, here we are then, all done, and now I'm just going to quickly tell you how to kind of program the different colours that you can put on it, okay? So when you go on, it might be flicking between the colours. What you want to do to turn it on and off is first pair it to a PS5, so mine's paired to the PS5. If it's not paired to a PS5, it won't turn on and off, okay? So make sure it's paired, and then you're going to press up and right at the same time and hold down square. So hold up, hold right, and then hold down square, and after, I think it's about 5 seconds, it will turn off. So there we go, so that's to turn it off, but it's still connected, so the controller still works, it's fine, connected to the PS5, just turn the RGB off, and then hold it up and right and square again for 5 seconds, and it turns it back on. There we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put it into like setting mode so you can change the colours, and the way you're going to do that is you're going to hold that up and square, so hold down that for about 5 seconds or so. 4, 5, there we go, and it's flashing now, and you can see that flashing, and then every time you press right it will do a different colour. So we can have like orange, and we can have pink, purple, light blue, red, green, and then at the end one is the one with the kind of like the changing of the colours. Okay, so I'm going to leave it on the one with the changing of the colours, and then we want to kind of get it out of the pair mode. So again, all you're going to do is press up and square for 5 seconds or so. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, then we'll see that it pings on and it stays on there. It stays on the colour that you selected when you were pressing right. There we go, so now that is going to go along and go all of the colours. I have been testing this. You might think battery life, I'll be honest with you, I haven't really noticed much of a difference in battery life, but then again, I just leave mine on charge overnight anyway, so I haven't really noticed it. But really in my testing, I wouldn't worry about the battery life too much. It doesn't draw too much power. So there we go, and that was my look at this. This is how to put the RGB kit from ExtremeRate onto your DualSense BDM-030. Go and have a look down there for a discount if you want to go and buy this kit from ExtremeRate. I think this looks quite nice. Look at my all-white RGB controller. Unique, this piece, with the clicky sticks as well. Sweet. Okay, go and have a look then. That's everything. Please do like, please do subscribe, and until the next video, bye-bye.